Prepare to attack the enemy's control points.
Get behind me, Doctor!
I am fully charged!
You are listening to Control Point, a Team Fortress 2 podcast with Brent Copeland, Eric Fullerton, Wes Wilson, and Spencer Williams.
Control Point, episode 29, recorded on May 4th, 2008.
I'm Brent Copeland.
I'm not playing the silly voice game today. I'm Wes Wilson.
I'm Eric Fullerton.
Oh, right. I'm Spencer Williams. Sorry, I was completely distracted.
We're back like a vertebrae.
Oh, snap.
What was that?
That was a really bad joke.
That was really terrible.
So this is a Team Fortress 2 podcast. We're here to fill your heads with TF2 news and discussion. And,
TFC.
And drama and intrigue and mystery, stuff like that.
We have a big announcement this week about a new Brent-related product. I'm looking forward to talking about that.
Oh, cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's liquid Brent. You actually drink it, and it makes you more Brentish.
Delicious.
I'm not sure what the hell that is.
I don't either.
Sounds nutritious.
By the way, Eric, I got this package in the mail today. I don't know what's in it. What are you?
Oh, my God.
Well,
is this going to be a stupid briefcase kit?
And there better not be a pirate in there.
Well, I hear a ticking.
Is it?
And I hear, is that a sheep? I hear some barking. It's very odd. But it's sent to a Windsor Coperton though. Is that? Do we know who that is?
That?
I don't know. Let's open it up.
Is he hot or not?
Wow, that's a paper here. Oh, paper. Whoa. Here, Brent, take this thing. You open it.
Moo! Moo! What the hell was that?
Giraffe sound. Giraffe sound.
I
Giraffe sound.
For a second, and now I'm like lost completely. All I heard was like farm animals around here, and I was one of them. I just joined in because I'm a follower.
There wasn't supposed to be a cow in the briefcase.
Cluck, cluck.
There is no cow level.
Cluck,
okay,
cluck.
What is in this thing? I see papers. Someone read these papers.
Okay, in this week's briefcase, of course, we're going to be talking. I'm going to be doing an overview of Goldrush. We don't feel like we're going to do a full map discussion of it because we don't really know it well enough yet. We're going to be talking about the new update, including the new medic updates. And we're going to be talking about the Evil Avatar match. Yeah.
Yay.
We're going to be talking about that.
Yay.
Woo.
That is one exciting episode.
Yeah. And what's this last bit?
It says West sucks.
Well, why would it say that in there?
Hey, I don't pack the briefcase. I just read what's in it.
If that wasn't a total and complete lie, you were talking. Even the people on Ustream heard you say that you were typing this stuff in.
I think Windsor Coperton typed that in.
Really?
Yeah.
God, that guy's a jerk.
Windsor Coperton, yar!
He is a pirate.
Anyway, let's move on to our Team Fortress status. Eric, why don't you go first this week?
Okay. I have played every single day this week. I'm playing like
nice.
I did old school when I first got TF2. I would wake up and I would be dreaming about it, and I'd wake up and I would need some TF2 before I did anything, before showering, before eating, before anything. So I would wake up.
This sounds like your Coke addiction.
Yeah, much like it. So I played.
I always wanted one of those.
Yeah, they're good stuff. They're good for dieting. So basically every time I play, I get on Goldrush. I can't stand it. I can't play anything with Goldrush now. And so I'll get on server 1. Sometimes I'll seed it. And I haven't done anything to the map rotation or anything. It's just when RTV or whatever comes up, everybody votes for extension. So you'll see, people with 400 points and stuff like that because we'll just play for hours.
Wow.
And then I'll get off, and then later that night I'll get on. So I've done so much playing this week of just Goldrush. On Tuesday, of course, that was patch day. And so I grinded achievements for a while on 6, which is a private server, and on 3, which is also another private server. And we did our grinding or farming or whatever you want to call it using Valve maps, and it was a lot of fun. Let's see. I think it was 5-on-5 for a long time, and we unlocked, I guess, both the weapons. Milestone 2. I didn't see anybody with Milestone 3. Not the first night anyway. So we had a lot of fun with that. Later on, when I got on to 3, remember last week I talked about the possibility of a custom map that is geared towards unlocking medic achievements.
Yes.
Well, it exists, and
it was up.
Me and Brent played on it. Yeah, that thing. Somebody made that thing quick. It's called Achievement Box, and it works very, very well. It's very
really.
Yeah, it's very intuitive. You would just have to see it. It's pretty amazing, actually, how they really fine-tuned it.
I logged on to it briefly, but I haven't really played around with it yet.
It's very effective, especially even when you're doing the 50 scout grind. I mean, everything. It's just really, really cool. Very, very thought out map for for pure cheating. That is, and
I don't really think it's cheating, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, but yeah, that's true. I kind of don't think it is either. But we'll get on to and Wednesday night, Goldrush, more Goldrush. I seeded number 1. No one was on the server, so I thought, okay, I'll get on there. I think me and a Frit got on there, and then within minutes, people just kept piling in, and then we had a good full game going. Also. And you know what? Every time I play, Sigma Sign is on, and he's always at the top of the score.
That's because he rules.
I know. It's insane. Anyway.
He says stuff, and I do it just because he's him.
Yeah. Well,
I don't even...
I on purpose, like, I've been trying to go against him. When I see if he's on blue, I'll be on red.
Right.
It's not because I don't like him. It's because he's really good, and I like a good challenge.
Yeah.
So I'll usually go against him, although I do like being on his team, but... Anyway,
on a side note, and I'm going to interrupt this with a little bit from my week, but it kind of goes with what you were just talking about. Mm-hmm. We were playing Goldrush, and we were completely dominating the other side, meaning our side's team, we had like 80 through 40 as our points, and they had 15 through 0 as their points, and we had been playing Goldrush and just basically unopposed.
Okay.
And
if that happens, I will usually reshuffle teams.
I don't know a command to do that. So
it's in Beatles mod.
Okay, I need to look for it then. But anyway, what I did was I told everybody to go spectator and then pick random coming back in. Well, the team that was losing didn't. So when we came back in, everybody was on the same sides except for Sigma Sign was on the other side. And he goes, "That's okay. I'm going to lead him to victory."
Nice.
But I didn't stick around long enough to see if he did it.
He probably did. That's awesome. So let's see. Oh, yeah. Also, I've noticed that I really, really like playing Spy on Goldrush. I'll play Spy, and I'll play Heavy a lot, as well as NG and Pyro, but those are my NPCs. But I just noticed that I found myself really playing a Spy a lot. Also, on Friday night, more Goldrush, of course, but I noticed something new that's happened. On Stage 2 of Goldrush, we managed to defend Checkpoint 1 the entire game. So the opposing team did not even get to the first checkpoint. It was insane. We were just rocking. It was very fun.
That sounds like the Evil Avatar match.
Yeah, it kind of does. And, this whole time I've been playing Goldrush, I've been thinking, is it even possible to defend before any of the first checkpoints? Because those really fly by pretty quick, NG's usually... We'll start setting up on the second one, even though I don't think that's a good practice. But we were just on it that night. Either that or the opposing team were, drunk or something.
Well, I told you in the game I was just talking about. We defended every single time at the first point. I mean, we held them off. So it was mean.
Well, yeah, but you also clearly had ridiculously unbalanced teams. I mean, yeah, it's possible when one team is incredibly better than the other team. Yeah, that's
yes.
I mean, yeah. I would say that's a given.
Ooh,
okay, you can go now, Aaron. I just was interjecting.
Let's see. So really, I think that's about it. Every day, a couple hours of Goldrush will do you good.
Every day.
Nice.
Every day I walk the car.
What?
Sorry, I don't know. I
I
just
didn't really get that either.
Well, you know.
Okay.
Hey, Singy McWesserton, why don't you do yours?
Sicky McWesserton?
Singy.
Oh,
Singy.
I am singing.
Sickly.
Well, I have played some Medic brand Goldrush this week. You know, that version of Goldrush that's mostly medics. You know,
Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of that, and that's been very entertaining. But it is very frustrating at the same time.
Yeah.
I have I tried to get a little bit of medic in. I'm trying deliberately not to choose medic if I see there are already 3 medics.
Or 12.
Yeah, or 3 or more. But I, you know, but like every once in a while, for a few minutes, there will only be like 2 medics, and I'll go, I can be a medic and not feel like a big jerk.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because I seem to have a conscience where others don't. But so what's a lot of fun, and I know this sounds silly, is I basically just hide behind the cart and crouch and walk along really slowly, keeping the cart in between me and the bad guys, and hoping I don't die, and healing anyone who's near the cart at a better
That's
rate.
a good idea. Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I do. As a medic, I just crawl behind the cart in Goldrush.
And it's about the same speed when you do that.
Yes.
You know, so it works out good.
Yeah. Additionally, you know, we did have the Evil Avatar match, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Other than that,
Oh, my eyes, they burn.
That ain't all that's burning.
But other than that, I mean, the Evil Avatar match, you know, took up all of Wednesday night, and then after the match, I played a little bit. But other than that, I played some BioShock, and then I played a lot of Carium and Travian this week, because there's been a lot of stuff going on those.
Ooh, that reminds me, I need to update my armies real quick.
Hey, yeah. Okay. We'll be doing a podcast. You let us know when you're back, Brent.
Okay,
You know,
wait, well, before we do that, hey, any of you guys that are playing Carry-On, they're semi-sulfur real fast. Thanks. Okay, go on.
You know, I forgot to mention the other games I played too. GTA 4.
Yeah.
And Mario Kart Wii.
Yeah.
Oh, man. This week's been awesome.
I was gonna play some I'm about probably 2/3 of the way through Mario Galaxy.
Oh, nice.
And I was gonna play some of that last night, and then I got sidetracked by some horror movies. I watched Primeval, which is actually a good croc flick.
Croc.
It is.
Croc flick. I like how it's just a croc flick.
It is. Well, I mean, what else are you supposed
Like
to?
there's other croc flicks out there.
Well, there is.
There is.
Yeah, there's the Lake Placid.
Oh yeah, that is a croc flick. Huh.
Yeah, with
And
Betty
then-
White as the evil woman.
Yeah.
She was awesome in that.
Yeah. But
Anyway, we are not. We've got like 3 other.
Well, I know,
movie
but then I saw the
podcasts on our
Frighteners, and I
network,
saw 28 Weeks Later, and that's what I watched.
I just watched that.
It was pretty good. I was impressed.
I think just as a shared disease related note, if you have a highly communicable disease, the last thing you should do is lock everyone up in the same room. It's just
Yes.
not a good idea.
Yeah, I'll agree with you.
But yeah, let's move on. Do you want to go next, Brent, or should I?
You go for it.
Okay,
Spencer.
Let's see.
How was your week?
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. On Tuesday night, I was there right when the update came out. I had everyone thought it was coming out sometime that day, so I had my speakers on my computer turned up really loud. So as soon as it came out, the inevitable deluge of messages hit me. Just ding, 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 ding. It's out, it's out, it's out, it's out. So I ran to my computer and I reset all servers 1, 3, and 5, or 1, 3, and 4. Which one's 1, 3, and 5? Yeah, that's right. Real quick to let everyone play, and it was amazing how fast everyone started grinding achievements on 3. It just started happening immediately. And I have my own opinions on that we'll discuss later on here. But ultimately what happened is I put it on... I didn't know about Achievement Box, so I put it on Duel 2.
And I thought that was actually pretty comparable to Achievement Box.
And honestly, I had a lot of fun. We set up a lot of really fun situations. One of my favorite moments was we were trying to... I forget what it's called, but there's an achievement where if you are healing someone that is under fire from four people at the same time, you get an achievement. So what happened is we had 4 people on blue, and they were all heavies. Everyone else was on red,
Quadruple
and everyone was a
bypass.
medic. quadruple bypass. Everyone was a medic except for me, and I was playing a heavy. So we have me in a corner surrounded by 4 heavies and just glowing lines coming towards me from everywhere. And I thought that maybe I'd survive. But they opened fire, and immediately everyone got the achievement, and I died. And as soon as I died, I hit a chat overrun error, and I got booted off the server. So they hit me so hard, I flew off of the server, and that was awesome.
Rage kick.
And then we did some other fun things. We got the scout achievement, had everyone shooting scouts coming out, and that was fun too. But that was pretty much that. And then on Wednesday, there was the Evil Avatar game. I played in that, and we'll talk about that later. But my ass is still sore. That's what I'm going to say right now. I did get GTA 4, and I spent quite a bit of the week playing that, so I didn't play as much TF2 as I otherwise would have, because GTA 4 is really, really fun.
Oh, yeah.
And let's see. And I saw Iron Man. That was my movie. Since Wes was talking about movies, I had to say I saw Iron Man. And I don't think Wes has seen it, so I'm not allowed to say anything about it, including my opinion. My opinion of it is apparently a spoiler, so I can't even give my opinion of it. That's pretty much it. I had a good friend of mine came to visit. He is in the CP community. He doesn't really talk a whole lot. Kote, 7th Son, and we played some TF2 with he I just built a new computer for him, so he had that and he was testing it out. And at one point I looked over and he was on server 3, and I happened to see the scoreboard. I was like, dude, you're in a scrim. There is a scrim going on, and he was just playing along, having a great time. So.
Yeah, during the Evil Avatar match, I had somebody message me. I can't remember who it was, and I apologize for not remembering the name, but they said, hey, I never get to play with any of you guys. What's the password so I can come play? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, you can't join us. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got that lucky.
So that's my week. Brent?
Well, most of my week involves stuff we can't talk about till we get to the subjects.
Yes.
So apparently I'll say the night of the unlocks I got on, and surprised to find everybody on there is medics, and Spencer kind of leading the charge, and it kind of surprised me because I thought he had said he was against that, but I guess that was Wes or something.
It was not me.
Because I know we had talked previously about that this was going to happen, that people were going to farm these. How they did it, but we'll talk about that later. And the rest of my week, except for one night of the match, was pretty much spent under my desk in the fetal position crying. So we'll get to that when we get to the match later. So that's a week.
On the loudspeaker.
News and discussions. And of course, the big news this week, everyone knows about it, is the big update that people can finally stop crying about it not coming out, because it came out on Tuesday. It included Goldrush, the new escort map, and it included the medic weapons and achievements. And
Yeah, but why isn't the next map out? Shouldn't it be out by now? Or what's going on?
You know, there was some really nice little minor things that they did, like there's some new speech, and it took me a while to figure out what the new speech was until, of course, playing, Goldrush all week.
Yes.
And it's like, push little cart and stuff like that.
I love the heavy, little cart is not moving.
Yeah.
I like it where it goes, get on the freaking point.
Yeah, I like how they put in all those for everybody.
Yeah. And of course, those are new. And
and they added the new timing. The new timing for
the
maps.
tournament stuff.
Oh,
yeah. What do you guys think of that?
I like it.
Let's explain what it is first.
Okay, go ahead.
We didn't find out about it until the actual Evil Avatar match. Mm-hmm. And we started, and for the tournament mode now, for instance, if you're playing Gravel Pit, one side plays, and then the time that that team played, it'll be reversed as a countdown. So instead of having to remember what time people played to, tournament mode now ticks you down. So if they capped it in 8 minutes 57 seconds, you then have to do it within 8 minutes and 57 seconds, or you lose.
Yeah.
Not only that, but for example, on Dust Bowl or on Goldrush, if you manage to defend and let's say the other team gets points 1 and 2 and they do so in 8 minutes, if you then take points 1 and 2 in less than 8 minutes, you win. That's it. There's no more play after that, because you have assumed to have already beaten them.
No, remember that. Yeah, that happened. Yeah,
that happened during the EVAV match.
Yes,
because we never played all of Goldrush. We only played the first leg.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. So
because time ran out. Because we ran out of time.
No, we attacked first.
Yes.
We attacked first, and we got points 1 and 2, and we did it in some amount of time. Like 6 or 7 minutes, and then they stopped us on the second leg, and then they took points 1 and 2 super fast, and that was it.
Yeah.
Okay, because they got the 2 points in time.
Yes,
because it's a point based. It's not actually like getting that leg of the match.
Right. They got 2 points faster than we got 2 points.
Right.
Exactly. Maybe we're not describing it as well as we should, but. What do you guys think of it, just out of curiosity?
I think it's good for match play because there's no reason to go on with a match that's lost. I mean, if y'all want to go play and have fun, then just go and play and have fun.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel.
Now is that only in match play? The new timers are only in match play?
I believe only if you're using the match play stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm 50-50 on it. I think it's really useful, but I would be curious to see how easy it is to change the specifications on it. For instance, if we wanted to run match play, but run it the way that we wanted to run it, how hard would it be to customize the match play file? That's what I would be interested to know, because for instance, I like the way it works on Gravel Pit. I was not as satisfied with how it worked elsewhere. For instance, if I were beating you, like let's say we're doing a Goldrush leg or a Goldrush map, and you stop me at point 2, okay, and then you're going, I would want you to be able to continue playing through the whole match if need be. I don't necessarily like that we're going to end it on the first leg just because that's all that I got to.
Yeah.
I would like to
the
see...
match is over.
Yes, but I think that there can be a degree of victory. I don't think it needs to be a binary.
There's a win or lose. I mean, there's no degree.
Well, don't get me wrong. I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, I would have liked, for instance, let's say we were winning and we actually wanted to play through the whole map and see, I defend it to point 2. Maybe I want to see if you can't defend it to point 4. You know what I'm saying? There's a scale there.
Well, then that to me is go play on a server that's not doing match play, because
I kind of see both of your points. I kind of see both of your points here. I mean, yeah, for a really serious match game, it does not matter. It does not matter, and generally you've got people that are on a strict time schedule anyway, so you want to have the match over as quickly as possible. That means not playing stuff that you don't need to play. Now, for our Evil Avatar match, for example, where we were using the tournament rules, but we were still really playing for fun. I mean, honestly, it kind of would have been nice to keep going. I kind of understand where Wes is coming from. I would like to see
something where we can go take off the match rules for things like that. Where we just want to play and see how it goes.
Well, and that was my point at the beginning of all this, was I would like to know
don't
how
try to
easy...
swap it around now.
I'm gonna hit it.
Don't try to swap it around.
Is this your phone?
God, Wes, you're so full of hate and rage.
I know. My mouth opens.
They were already talking in the chat room that we were filled with hate today, and they're correct.
But I mean, again, I would like to know how configurable that file is.
It's not.
It's not?
I have no clue. I'm just kidding.
God.
Just adding some hate.
Brent is channeling you today.
Give me some nucks right there, Spencer. Right to the cam. Give me some nucks. There you go.
So, another new minor addition to the patch features is new melee animations. I thought this was neat. I noticed the new melee animations using an Engie, because not only are you striking downward with your wrench, but you also strike sideways, like you're giving like a right hook, like punching, And everyone does that. So it's just kind of a randomized melee motion rather than just the same looping one over and over and over. So
I guess flavor. I mean the heavy already had multiple punching animations, so I don't think they changed anything there.
Okay,
or at least I haven't noticed it yet. Because he has the uppercut when he crits.
Yeah, and I mean I play Pyro as well, so I would never really ask someone a question. So anyway, that was nice. It's cool that they slip in these little minor things as well as gigantic things. Like the stuff that we're talking about now, Goldrush.
Right.
What other big things?
The medic achievements. I mean,
of course, yeah.
We're going to discuss this in more detail here in a minute. We've got that's going to be our discussion here. So let's go on. There was a command that briefly allowed you to unlock all of the achievements and all of the weapons. Now they have fixed that. They fixed it very, very quickly.
And if they detected that you did it, they took it away from you.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, people are saying that they also lost achievements that they had gained legitimately, and that may be true. One of my issues with the whole getting weapons through achievements is I feel like their achievement system has always been sort of soft on meeting requirements as it is. So it's possible that some people got left out in the cold there.
Yeah, I think it's unfair for a developer to get revenge on a user because of some functionality that they used. Now, and we're not talking about users hacking or doing anything disruptive or anything sneaky. We're talking about just typing in a command that was left in there, possibly a debugging command that was obviously forgotten about by the developers, which unlocks the things. So I don't know. It just doesn't seem right to me.
It's an obvious exploit. People knew when they were doing it, so no, I have no problem with them taking it back.
But
some
if
people
it's a command
have
in there, is it an exploit? I mean, you don't know.
No, I agree. I agree. It was not an obvious exploit.
Yeah, building guns under the ground, that's not an exploit. You can do it in the game.
That's an exploit.
Of course.
We're talking about a console command.
If you had a command line in there that said, build gun underground, would you call that an exploit?
Yeah, if I knew that that's not what the developers intended. And
how do you know until they say?
Because everyone knew you had to get the achievements in this game. It's not like it's hard to figure out that you have to do all these things to get them.
But do you? Because it's so easy.
Who on earth would think that all you have to do is type in some crap?
I think that's exactly what they should have done.
I'm with Brent. I actually thought that was
incredibly lame how they did it. And I think having a command line in there to say, if you don't want to have to waste cheating getting your achievements, just type this in, you'll get the guns, and then you can get your achievements like you want to.
Well, then they should have published that.
Well, they should have published, and they shouldn't have left it in there. It was sloppy programming. That's all it comes down to.
Yes, and just because they're sloppy programming doesn't mean that they have to tolerate the fact that people exploited it.
It's not an exploit.
I knew it was an exploit the moment I heard it.
Wes, there was actually serious discussion. There was actual serious discussion in our forums from people that believed that Valve left in the commands specifically for people who did not want to grind the achievements out. I can see how people would have thought that. Now, I personally now I know you disagree, Wes, but I personally kind of thought it was a little bit shady to begin with, but at the same time, these are console commands. These are things that are built into the game for people to be able to do, and I can easily see people not thinking that it's an exploit. Now, as far as them saying, whoops, we shouldn't have done that, and by the way, you weren't supposed to be able to do that, so we're taking that away, I'm really kind of ambivalent on that. I sort of think when exploits in general are found, and this comes from my days in MMOs, I kind of feel like the developer should say, oh, thanks for finding that for us. Since you found it, congratulations. Now you can't do it anymore. That doesn't mean that's kind of what I think should happen. In this case, I don't know. I'm completely ambivalent. I am conflicted as to whether or not they should have removed the people that use the command.
And I'm kind of with you on that because, it's like, I don't think they would really affect that many people by leaving it in there. I mean, I don't know how many people actually typed it in there.
Right.
But if, a certain population got it, air quotes, cheating, could they affect something else? I mean, is it going to be in tournament play? Can you use those unlocks in tournament play? Or are they going to wait till, a certain amount of people have it? What's the difference between doing the command line and then setting up Duel 2 or, achievements box and getting them that way? To me, there's not much difference. And, I don't know. I think that way would have been much more fun for a lot of people.
Yeah, I see it like hardcore versus casual gamers. Hardcore gamers are more prone to do things like command lines. Now, your casual gamer might not even know how to open up the console. He's going to unlock all of his new weapons using the tools, the casual tools, which are unlocking achievements. And the hardcore, he's going to use the hardcore tools. That's opening up the console, typing in,
So it's exactly the opposite of what you think should be the result.
What?
Well, you're saying that people who don't want to spend all their time unlocking their achievements, could just type it in. But obviously that the type it in is for the hardcore gamers who are going to do the stuff anyway.
Well, that's just kind of his opinion. That doesn't mean it's true.
But I'm throwing it back in your face as a direct contradiction to what you were saying it would be good for. His example is, the hardcore gamers will use the hardcore solution, typing in console commands. And your point is, hey, people shouldn't have to be hardcore. So, but he's saying
that's
they have
exactly
to be hardcore.
right. I would love it if they put it in the menu to unlock it.
Nah.
I actually, honestly, I think the whole idea of okay, well, we're getting on to our discussion here, so let's just move into it here. Should the achievements unlock the weapons?
No, I don't think they should have from the beginning. I think they should have just been two separate things.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree as well. The only thing I would have liked to have seen, if you were going to have some of the achievement, like if you were going to have an achievement unlock, it should have been a much lower number. Because if it should have been, I mean, realistically, just playing the game, I got one achievement the other day.
Okay.
Just sitting there playing normal West Medic, hiding behind the Goldrush thing, okay, behind the cart. I got one thing. Well, maybe, 3, 5, and 10 would have been good numbers for the unlock, but the fact that you have to get so many to unlock it turns it into a farming thing.
Yeah.
Right.
It would have been better if it was possible to actually unlock the weapons through casual play rather than have to focus on a few specific situations in order to unlock it.
Yeah.
Now, my opinion is I've played many games where you have had an achievement unlock system that was well done, built into the game, and it worked very well. For example, Battlefield 1942. More recently, Call of Duty 4 has that. And in multiplayer, you earn experience by doing specific things, and the experience unlocks new weapons and items for weapons. So I'm not against it per se. Now, here's where I think that they screwed up big time, is releasing one classes at once.
Yes.
That's the problem.
Absolute
right
idiocy.
If the update had come out with new achievements and new weapons for all 9 classes, we would not be having this argument right now.
Yes.
And I am almost positive about that. Would people still be going out and grinding them? Yeah, but it wouldn't be quite as big a deal because you wouldn't have this mass rush to one class.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, now, what are you going to do with 2 teams of 12 pyros next time? I mean.
Yeah, and I think another thing is just, holy crap! I just lost my complete train of thought.
That's
there.
okay.
What if it were a faction grind from WoW? Say it's a time release kind of thing. Like you can only get so much per day, or depending on how much time you play with a medic.
I hate that.
I think
would that be a bad idea?
I think it's just not an MMO.
I hate it.
But it's like that's just another beast, and I don't know. It's like it's Team Fortress. Why are you doing requirements like that?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Let's to be honest, are the weapons really all that great? Are the unlocked weapons really all that great? And in my experience so far, not really. So at the same time, you can make the argument that you can still play TF2 perfectly fine and be just as effective as you always have been without doing any of this crap.
Yes.
I mean, I agree
do you
completely.
need
I think that's
the
why they're
brute
balanced.
sauger? Do you need the brute sauger? No, it's basically a worthless weapon. The
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Well,
I'd
it's
say
more
they're
accurate.
just as useful as other ones. It's really good for getting out of combat. That's where I see it shining.
Well, on that vein, I think that all the new weapons are not upgrades. They're all balanced. So to say that the Kritzkrieg is a better Uber than the original Uber, I don't think that's a true statement. I don't think.
I hate the
you know what I
Kritzkrieg.
mean? That
I hate it.
They're just side items. They're additions or replacements. They're not upgrades. Is that?
Yeah. So basically, I agree with that to a certain extent. And my point is, you do not need these weapons to play Team Fortress 2. This is not like WoW. You do not need the gear to be the leadest you can be. That's not the way this is. They are different options. They're sort of bonuses. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't think that Valve has done a good job at all of communicating what these weapons are and the
Well, let's face it, though,
unlocking
Valve
process.
in general sucks at communication.
No, they absolutely do.
I mean, they
Yes,
give you
I
patch
agree.
notes and they give you, what they release. Besides that, you're lucky to get anything.
I think the best scenario here would be if they would have put out a video, kind of showing off and explaining
Meet
the
the
weapons.
new medic.
Yeah, not in a in a boring tutorial kind of way, but a fun kind of a way where maybe the soldier's up there in front of a chalkboard and he's explaining or I guess it would be a medic, some fun way of communicating and not just throwing us a bunch of new weapons and saying, okay guys, figured it out. Oh, and by the way, there's a trick in there too. If you type in the secret, you'll get banned for life. Okay, have fun, kids. Have fun. That's just like, whoa, dudes. I mean, I don't know.
Oh,
But
always
let's
bringing
go
it
on
up.
with some of what our listeners have said here. John Maz has said that anyone want to read this whole thing here?
Sure,
Or
I'll
should
read it. There are two games going on in TF2. One is the real game with classes and shooting and all that, the real game. The second game is more of a casual game in the level of Bejeweled or Bookworm. That game is getting achievements. That game is what you do to kind of keep your interest in TF2. It's almost like stamp collecting. You get all but one or two, and you look all over for the last super rare ones. That's all well and good. I don't mind the casual game. It's fun. However, with this new patch, Valve has made the casual elements of TF2 interrupt the real purpose of the game itself. When the stamp collecting aspect of TF2 interrupts the real gameplay, that's when we get upset. I look at the achievement unlock system as if Valve forced you to play 36 rounds of Bejeweled before letting me into a TF2 server. I, for one, am using CVAR.
Okay, that actually
CVAR's
brought me
gone
back
now.
to what I was trying to say earlier. that it completely
Yeah, but
escaped
we've
me.
moved on.
Yeah, but it goes with this. So that's good. And now I completely forgot it again. No, just kidding. But that oh God, I did.
No.
Did you really?
Yeah.
that-
Oh, no way. That's hilarious.
I just thought,
Okay,
I need to quit drinking
clearly
during
he
these things.
He
I
was
just
for
thought
the
that
CVAR,
was-
and the CVAR is gone. Now, let me tell you where I think that entire argument falls apart. It's as soon as you say that Valve is forcing you to play 36 rounds. That's bullcrap. They're not forcing you to play anything. You don't have to play the game. You don't have to try for the achievements if you are playing the game. Like we have established, the medic weapons are bonuses. They are not required for you to play. So, God, get over it. I'm kind of at that level right now. You do not have to have these damn weapons
Well,
to play the game.
I'll just-
And people are saying that they feel like they are being forced to do this. And
Well,
God, just get over it.
He was saying as part of the achievement unlock system, you are forced to do this.
Yeah, but also you gotta
He says
remember,
Valve
other
is forcing
people
him to
are
play
doing this.
36 rounds of Bejeweled before letting him onto a TF2 server.
Well, he's looking at the achievement unlock system as
He's looking at it as if he has to have the weapons
yes,
to
if
play
he
the game
wants to
effectively.
do the unlock system, he has to play 36 rounds of Bejeweled. That's what he's saying. And I agree with
That's
it.
not what-
There's been a lot of comment all over the place that having an achievement system in a multiplayer game is pretty stupid in the first place. Because
have you ever played Battlefield 1942?
Not
Battlefield Battlefield 2.
I did play Battlefield 2.
Battlefield 2 is actually what I meant. 1942 didn't have it. They did it fantastically. Call of Duty 4 did it fantastically. So people can take that notion and throw it right out because it has been done well.
Burn.
Just because this particular instance is not the best use of that system doesn't mean that they should throw it out altogether.
Well, and I think one of the bigger problems also is the fact that some of these achievements, though they are possible to do in years and years of gameplay, they just don't happen, you know, and so you almost have to do it. You know, if you have this one last unlock and it's like, well, I got to get a heavy to go punch some guys for me, you know.
Yeah.
Sure, it happens every once in a while with that, you know, the guy who only punches people and he's gotten really good at it.
Yeah.
Now, I said last week that Valve had to have seen the achievement grinding coming, and I think that achievement grinding in and of itself can be fun. And in fact, that Tuesday night, we had a lot of fun doing it. Now, the area where it gets not so fun is where people want to play the real game and other people want to get the achievements. There you have a sort of dissonance of purpose that causes people to stop having fun. And we had some arguments. Yeah, we had some arguments on servers that I've had to step into a couple times this week as a result. I kind of think that could have been resolved if they had just, you know, admitted it straight out that they had meant for these to be have the medic achievements be grinded and put in a specific mode or released a specific Valve map specifically to get these achievements. Mm-hmm. That might have been nice.
That would have been cool if they had tied the achievements to individual maps in. Oh, that's kind of.
I'm telling you,
well,
on Tuesday night, I had a ton of fun grinding the achievements.
I did too.
I had a ton of fun.
I really did.
I think they should have made it just even less fun and made you only able to get the achievements on Valve maps.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
although, you know, and
only 2 a day.
And I'm sure the person who made the achievement box map had fun doing that, researching and trying to figure it out. It's a big puzzle to create something like that, and I don't know.
Especially to have it out before I think it was out before the achievements were released.
It's crazy.
So we had to go by like pictures and rumors and things like that.
Yeah, but yeah, I had a lot of fun as well, grinding or farming or whatever. Are those two words the same?
Well, I'm just going to say right off the bat, I kind of, when I logged onto the servers and saw all the medics running around, my first instinct was I ought not to play that game. I probably shouldn't join in the stupidity. Because it feels stupid. When you first log on, you know, I'm like, okay, well, let's go see what's going on. And you log on and half your team is medics. But first, I was like, what? And I was on a regular server doing regular play. I'm like, this just doesn't feel right. You know, something's wrong here.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm not joining in this. And then after a little while, with I noticed a few people acting goofy, I went, maybe I should just not even farm, like try to get these achievements. Why don't I just play? And if I get them, I get them. And if I don't get the weapons, I don't get the weapons.
Yeah.
You know? And I, so far, have not tried to grind anything. But that's a decision I made, and I'm not necessarily blaming anybody else or expecting anybody else to follow my path. But, you know, at the same time, I'm not convinced that this was the best way to handle this.
I agree.
I agree that if they had released all the classes' alternate weapons at once, it would have been a completely different situation.
You still would have had a couple of weeks of craziness. I mean, you always would have had that.
Well,
but it wouldn't have been as bad.
And my secondary thing is if they had reduced the requirements to get stuff. In other words, if you don't have to get all the achievements to get this one particular thing, if instead you only have to get 5 or 6, people might grind those 5 or 6 and then go off and play with their new weapons.
I think they should have just decoupled the two things altogether. I think that would have solved all the issues.
I kind of agree.
And
I kind of agree. I think if they'd gone more with like what Call of Duty 4 has, they have achievement systems, but what the achievements do is they earn you XP, and the XP is applied towards new unlocks. In addition, you get XP for killing, for performing map objectives, all of that stuff. So you get the experience to unlock the further unlocks just through playing the normal game. And if you want to do these extra things to get boosts, big point boosts in your experience, then those are separate. I feel like that was just a really elegant way of handling the situation, and I think that would have solved a lot of problems here.
And do you want to know why I actually unlocked mine? I don't play medic, so but the reason...
Yeah, I don't play medic either. I did it because I was having fun.
Well, actually, for me, I guess that was secondary because I didn't know it was going to be fun. I was thinking, oh God, I need to grind my way to get these things so that I can relate to other people talking about them, because I'm a host on a podcast that talks about TF2.
Yep.
So if I don't get the weapons, what am I gonna? I don't have anything to talk about. So so then finally found out that yes, it is indeed fun. I was having fun getting them. I unlocked 2 of them. I never got the Uber Saw. I see that I'm gonna have to grind a lot more, and frankly, I don't know when I'm gonna get it out. I'm not too interested right now, but. And I played a total of 1 time after that in an actual game with my new weapons. I thought, oh, okay, that's fun. That was it. I'm back to Pyro, and I'm back to... I mean, I like the medic and all, but really that was my reason of unlocking them, so that I could talk about it.
That's a good point, and I just expected all you guys to carry my dead weight.
Just like every week.
Nice.
Now, as far as when is it appropriate to grind achievements and when is it not? If you are, I think we can all agree very quickly on this, that if you are on a public server on which people are trying to play the game and you are attempting to get achievements, you are a problem. And personally, if I see that kind of crap, I will kick someone for it. But in a heartbeat.
But, are you talking about someone who's expressly trying to get every single one, or someone who's trying to get one? I'm
talking about a medic who will only Uber scouts and is telling them to go around bat people. That is not helpful for a game, and it ruins the fun for other people.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I heard a medic say that they would Uber a heavy only if they went and punched.
See, I'm so conflicted about that, because it's like, to me, it's like Valve put this in the game, and if some random Joe comes on and they're just like, I'm just doing what the developers made the game. And
well, at the same time, Valve put in voice chat, but if some jerkwad comes on and starts screaming curse words on the server, I'm going to kick him for that. If you are doing something that makes the game less fun for the majority of other people playing it, that's called griefing. Well, that's a kickable offense.
Tell him first. Hey,
I'll tell him first.
I'm kicking you, and then kick him.
Oh, he'll cuss him out before he does it. He'll spill.
I'll start screaming curse words over chat. I don't care.
That's all I wanted. I'm looking out for these guys.
Okay. On that.
Now,
let's move into this next section, and I have labeled it irony.
Cool.
And the reason, and we're going to try to cover this in a rather reasonably passionate way. First off, there was a message on our forums from ARM, and it said, I'm personally very ashamed that CP hosts and admins allow such nonsense. I was recently in server 3 and attempted to annoy the patters, I guess meaning the people who are trying to get their achievements. But in the middle of that, I was threatened to be banned and kicked from the server and chat I was banned from. I hate it, and if you want to call it griefing, I'll try and annoy them whenever I can. But what is your take? Do you think CP should put on maps such as achievement box maps on private servers that are being paid for by donations? If it is paid 100% by a person that approves the idea, do you think that CP should let them use the CP server tags?
I'm going to let someone else take this first. So.
Now, I think the key here is that he got on server 3, which is our passworded clan server.
It's a server. Private server used only for CP-sponsored events.
Right.
Whether that's practice that we have given these squads permission to use and passwords to do.
Right.
Or we set up an event, or something like Sigma Sign sets up a class.
Class sessions.
Things that we say, yes, you can go use that server for this. And we've talked about changing the password more, because we do get a lot of people on there that just, have gotten the password over the months that it's been there. And people don't need to be able to log in just because they see friends on there, because they'll get in during matches, they'll get in during practices.
Right.
And cause confusion.
So I guess just to be clear that we're saying that farming is an example of a CP-sponsored event.
That was, I consider that a sponsored event the other night because, well, at least I walked in and Spencer was running it.
Yeah,
I was like, okay.
Spencer was running an event on our private server.
Right.
And ARM was upset. Now,
this is not when this happened.
Is it not?
No, I was there for both of these. I was called in by someone who said that ARM was griefing on the server, and I came on and I gave him a pretty stern warning, and I logged off. I never kicked him. If he was kicked, it was by one of our other admins.
Well, and all you really have to
now
say
let me tell you my take on this, and this goes back to what I was saying earlier. If you are doing something that is preventing the majority of people on the server from enjoying the game, then you are griefing. Now, if everyone is doing something that you don't like for some reason, if they are not playing the game the way you want them to play it, there are other servers for you to play on. And that's what you should do. If you go on there and try to prevent other people from playing the game the way they want to play it, if the majority of people are playing it that way, you are griefing.
So if the majority of people are getting upset because they're getting backstabbed by Shine all night long, are we going to start banning?
Spine is stopping me from playing the game I want to play.
There's no slippery slope here. There's no slippery slope here. That's not what we're talking about, and you know it.
Now, just to so I think everyone understands where we're coming from. We, especially on a private server event, we do not mind people farming achievements as a sponsored event. This does not mean that we don't understand if somebody were to get on CP number 1 that they would get frustrated that there was farming going on.
Yeah.
We don't want farming on CP number 1. I think we can agree on that.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, here's where things started getting weird. Pulveriza said, "What's my take? I've just spent the last 5 hours or so doing just that. There were
Farming
3 to 4 of us. Yeah, there were 3 to 4 of us at any one time on a server, but they mostly soon got crowded with people not farming, and that pissed me off." Does anyone else catch the irony there? In other words, we're going to play our game the way we want, but as soon as more people log on and change the game, we don't want to play the game that they want.
So they're in turn griefing.
Yes, exactly.
by legitimately playing by the,
right,
regular Valve rules or whatever.
So
then it swaps. Right.
So I just thought this was very ironic because Pulverize is like, hey, we're farming achievements and having a good time.
Yeah.
Why are you causing us problems? And then when lots of people got on and started playing the game legit, he's like, you're ruining my good time.
I take issue with that. I really do. I mean,
it's ironic and stupid.
Most people have the right to get onto public servers and play the game the way they are used to playing it, the way I suppose it is quote unquote meant to be played. If you want to farm achievements, you do it on a private server.
Well, he never commented which server this was on.
Well, I'm saying that straight up. If you are doing it on a private server, or make your own server if you really want to do it with you and your buddies, the CP servers are not there for your own private use.
And I'd personally like to just go ahead and thank you, Valve, for putting this stress into everybody's life in the game. We enjoy it. Thank you.
And it's made this episode so dramatic, hasn't it?
I honestly think that in 2 weeks, this is all going to be water under the bridge. No one's going to remember this.
No.
Yeah.
And plus, we haven't a good fight match in a long time.
Yeah. and the people who didn't farm the achievements, when they're like, man, this is really going to take me 5 years to get these. And they're going to be like, well, now I'm going to go farm them. And then they're going to be like, no one's farming them, so I can't farm them now because no one's farming them, and I'm screwed.
Make your own private server. Invite your friends.
The final section on my irony section was SB talking some sense. He says, nothing wrong with farming, but they deserve what they get if someone else wants to farm for their max kills per life stat on the same server.
Now, let me tell you why that is not talking sense. And you think it's talking sense because you've never done the achievement farming. What makes the achievement farming fun is getting everyone together, getting a plan, and executing that plan. If you've got some jerkwad out there just killing everyone he sees, then he is not part of it, and that I still consider that to be griefing.
I'm 50-50 on it because I'm thinking in this particular case this is public. Okay, I'm thinking that if you've got a server with 24 people on it, or 22 people on it that are doing achievements, and someone just logs on casual and is like, well, I'm gonna go in and do this stuff. It seems kind of silly, to complain about one person farming one way and another person farming another way.
You know what we did when people needed that achievement? We had everyone go medic and everyone bring out their sawbone, bone saw.
Reverse it.
So blonde,
Blah 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 blah.
Blah, blah, do.
Okay.
blonde bimbo, coconuts, rainbow trout. Anyway, we had everyone take out their sawbone, and everyone ran around and killed each other for a while, and that was great fun. And if you want to do that, that's what you ought to do. You ought to get a bunch of people together and do it at the same time, because that way everyone gets to have fun.
Yeah. Sawbone.
Are we done with this? Can we move on?
I think we are.
Yeah.
Our next discussion is we got asked by Melinda Stone, what do you think is the best class combo besides medic combos?
Yeah.
Like, so it can't be a medic and anything else. But
Right.
anything else and anything
Yeah.
else.
Yes.
I think that's a good
I've been
question.
thinking about
I'm
it.
looking forward to that. We'll talk
think,
about that next week.
Oh,
Oh,
We're
we
not
want to
gonna
do it
dis-
next week?
Well, we just did a big discussion here on one thing. Let's save that for next week.
Okay,
Let's do
we'll
that
save it for
discussion
next
next week.
okay.
Is that a discussion?
Yeah, I thought it was just more of a Q&A real quick, but
I mean, here's my answer.
Shut
soldier
up.
and soldier. There, next.
Shut up. Okay.
West.
Okay, we'll save it for next week.
I think I want to hear what our listeners think on that as well. So go ahead and send in an email.
But-
what do you think is the
But
best
you're not going
class
to read them
combo?
until after the next episode anyway.
No, that's because I don't care. But I'd like to hear anyway. No, seriously. Go ahead and send those in. Send in your voicemail, all that stuff on that.
yeah.
This week on Reconnaissance, our map discussion, we have down here Goldrush First Impressions.
Yes. We decided that since Goldrush was out, we would go ahead and talk about it a little bit, but mostly just talk about our first impressions of it, because none of us really have any significant strategy on it, except for maybe Eric, since he's
I want to hear what Eric has to say, because I've only played it like 3 or 4 times, and personally, so far, it's always been completely unbalanced every time I've played it, so it's
Really?
never really been any fun.
Well, Eric, why don't you give us some first impressions of the map then?
Eric's
Let's
first
see, I guess,
impressions. Dun dun.
I guess it depends on what class you play, obviously. As an NG, I really, really like it. Even as a sniper, there's so many nooks and crannies. It's just so much fun because it feels like one of those rides in Disney World where you're sitting in the little raft and you go down, and then a skeleton will jump out in this little cranny here, and you go through this area and you see a whole different. It feels like that. Or like an old Western, a guy jumps out of a saloon door or a little window and shoots you or whatever. Or like Hogan's Alley, like the little gun game. That's what it feels like to me. So as an NG, putting turrets up at different places as they kind of drive by, and they have no idea there's a turret there until, boom, half the team is dead because they're all standing in the same little tiny clump. Now, for a pyro, I'm also happy because, again, I can kill the whole team in one quick swipe. Boom, they're dead. And then while they're dead and being respawn, we just increase our defense or do a quick little spawn sweep. Or, it just has all the elements that I really enjoy. So I love it.
One thing I like about the layout of the general map itself is on each of the legs, there's a very open section. And then it narrows to a point where the cap point, where the next cap point thing is.
Yeah.
And then it opens back up again. So there's this choke point in the middle, 50% of the way from each of the teams, that seems to have some really interesting battles.
Yeah.
Getting around that first leg, first turn, sometimes can be a real pain in the butt if they've got a good defense going.
Right.
And I like how the kinetics of the battle change depending on how close the cart is to each of the spawns. I find that I mean, when you can get an offense that's holding on to the cart for the entire second half of each leg, that's very impressive and very cool.
Yeah. You know, I guess as a third class that I play on Goldrush is the Spy. Now, the Spy has kind of the same mechanics that I just talked about, being able to kill multiple people on a big clump. Now, most times that I play Goldrush, I notice that people that are crowded around the cart are all looking forward. Rarely do people look back. A medic may look back, but the heavy, I mean, they're just always looking forward. So as a Spy, you go and boom, 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 boom,
I think that's going to change as people get more and more used to the map.
Probably. I agree with that. But as a Spy, you will just you'll get a good 3 backstabs before anybody knows what's going on. So it's great.
Not me. I'd stab him in the side of the face. They wouldn't die, and they'd blow me up because I suck at Spy. But for you people,
I really wasn't enjoying the map much at all at first. Just as a heavy, it's kind of difficult to get a good line of fire. It's a more open map in a lot of areas, so it can be the heavy is a little bit more challenging to play. Until I started finding some of the side paths, I was playing one map on offense, and they had 2 sentries that were just completely and totally stopping us. I don't remember. I think it's on at the end of the second leg where there's like 2 kind of towers connected by a bridge that the cart goes under. Am I right on that?
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, and they had sentries set up on the bridge and inside the shacks and all that stuff, and we were just getting completely decimated by them. There was nothing we could do until I finally found a little path that I could go around, and I took out like 3 sentries, or I'm sorry, there were only 2 sentries from behind, where they really couldn't get a good angle on me. And so I think as I find stuff like that, where they seem to have included places where the offense can work around some of the more odious defensive measures that can be taken, I'll enjoy the map more and more.
Yeah.
I have to say, I do like that the bomb has Cry Some More written on it. I like that.
Yeah, the final bomb at the end is cool. I'm completely satisfied with the speed that the cart is going and with the amount of health that it dispenses. I think all of the timing, all of the little features, or all of the little details about the mechanics of the map are just awesome. I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about Goldrush. Wow. Other than I can't play it all the time.
I'm a lot happier at its release than I was with Badlands. Badlands to me is not as much fun as Goldrush is.
Right, yeah.
I really like Badlands, so I can't say the same thing.
I like them both. I'm right in the middle. I really like Goldrush, though. I mean, I just, you can get to a lot of different places, and it's said everywhere that there's a place for every class in the map, and it's true, and you can't ask for anything more than that, I don't think.
And visually, it's awesome.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think it's a pretty map for the most part.
I think it looks just like Dust Bowl.
Dust Bowl, yeah, it does. Yeah. I totally agree with that.
Well, it's a good texture set.
But I like Dust Bowl visually. So
cool. Well, we will have a more in-depth discussion on it, more traditional map discussion in a few weeks after we've really gotten a chance to get our sea legs on it. We don't feel like we have any real strategies to impart as of yet,
or naming conventions.
Yeah, yes. Exactly.
Elbows.
Next week we are going to be doing Warpath. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to have to remember which one that is. I get confused with the other one all the time.
I do. I get it confused with Wolf, too.
And they're completely different maps is the sad thing. It's just like...
Warpath has a bridge like 2 Fort. It goes over a chasm. And I like it.
Now, before we go on here to listener contributions, we should take a moment to talk about the Evil Avatar match, which we did not talk about earlier.
Oh, do we have to? Do we have to talk about it?
I feel like we should be we should be big men here and go out and say that we got rolled over.
Yeah. We were crushed, decimated, humiliated.
And those words don't even describe it.
I think every single person on this podcast, I know Spencer logged off immediately.
All I know
I was done. I hate to say it, but I really didn't have a whole lot of fun.
I didn't have that much fun either. It was.
I didn't play the rest of the week, I don't think.
Really?
I was under my desk, curled up in a fetal position, crying horribly. I was so depressed after that. I was like, I don't even know how you could have changed what happened there unless we practiced with whoever we play with.
Well,
now, honestly, I think that the problem is this. I think that we did try and pick people who we hadn't played with before, and who did not typically play together. The first match, we had a lot of people from Uber Alliance there, and we had a lot of people from ASJS there, and not only are those people that we play with, or I know I play with them a lot, but they tend to play together a lot, and so we had this basic teamwork that was just completely and totally lacking. Now, I don't want to take anything away from Evil Avatar here, because they played a fantastic game.
Yes.
They took advantage of our weakness very, very well.
I think we still would have gotten rolled. I think we would have done better, but I think we would have gotten rolled. I think we need to see Evil Avatar against Gamers with Jobs and see how that goes, and that will be really telling.
At this point in time, I think that I honestly feel that we were not on our game this week. I feel like if we had been on our game, we would have put up a much better fight. I
think we still would have lost, but I think it would have been a lot more fun.
Well, I don't think that we're used to playing against teams that have 4 to 5 spies. We were dealing with a spy glut. We were dealing with some situations that we were not used to.
And we were not communicating.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was the big thing.
Yes. You did.
And
well,
I hope I didn't piss too many people off, but man, it's like when your team's losing and it's like you kind of see why you're losing. It's like no communication. Everybody talk, and you see someone like getting beamed by 4 people running in, and they're not saying a word about 4 people come from this area. And you're like, just explain what's going on.
I'm going to talk a little bit about that for a second. First off, a lot of the people who were in our first match are very team-oriented players. They would announce everything. And our first match against GWJ, I didn't talk all that much. And the main reason I didn't is because there was so much chatter going on, I didn't really feel comfortable putting more in. I'm like, they've got it covered. And probably we had a lot of people like me involved with the second match because people weren't talking, and even though we didn't have the background chatter to drown them out. I usually don't call Ubers because someone else has already called it, 2 seconds before I do. The incoming Uber, no. And I think we had a lot of people like me who are used to who are more marginally on the sides of the leadership roles playing in this game.
Yeah.
Now, we had some really good players.
Yeah.
We had some people who get good scores usually, but I think that they work better in groups with other team-oriented players.
And it wasn't just the communication. It was also just familiarity with how other people play. Like, for example, Suraj played with us, and he's a very, very good player.
Oh, I think all the guys were.
I turned around. Well, I'm just using him as an example because this happened a lot. I think he's a really good player. I kept tripping over him. Like every time I turned around, he was in my sights, and that's just because I'm not used to the way he plays. And I think that had a big part to do with why we lost. They play together all the time. I mean, they have their own server, and they play together all the time. Now, it should be said here that there have been some positive impact on them from this match. They had a lot of fun. Not in terms of humiliating us necessarily. They just had never played.
Although they should have had fun. They should have had fun humiliating. We were humiliated. They won. But they dominated us.
But they had fun because it was the first time they'd really tried to do a more competitive style match with organized teams, and the positive thing to arise from this is they're already organizing more matches with other groups. Yeah, they're organizing a match with Penny Arcade players right now, and so that should be fun to watch and see how that turns out. Yeah, it was. It was rough for us. It was rough for us.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And I'll tell you, I noticed that Gamers with Jobs, their Team Fortress 2 weekly thread that they have, which is the biggest thread on their server, has gone up by leaps and bounds since the match.
Well,
so if nothing better on our spilt blood, we are spreading the joy of TF2 to the rest of the world.
Awesome.
But I mean, it really was a good match. I mean,
It was-
on their side, it was a really
Yes,
good match. They
yes.
did really well, and they had
Yes.
some really good players.
They in Goldrush, they spanked us. I mean,
Yeah. Oh no, it was sad.
And-
I mean, it
and
was really
we
sad.
finally
fast.
we did finally manage to
lose all the other
put
matches
together. Well, we put together a credible defense on Dust Bowl finally at the end. It didn't.
yes,
It didn't.
but it was too little, too
Or
late.
no, offense.
Yeah.
Our defense was terrible, but we did, push in pretty well on offense.
But because of the
So-
way the new combat rules work for matches, we weren't able to come back at the time allotted to us.
honestly, I was ready for it to be over anyway. So
I actually played some more afterwards. I went and played some Gold Rush afterwards because the Evil Avatar match on Gold Rush, that was the second time I had played that map.
it was the first time for me. First time.
I think it was like the second or third. But yeah, I actually stayed on the server, that same server.
I know, I watched you. I'm like, why are you over there? Why don't you come join us on one?
Because I did not want to do anything else.
Yeah.
There was like 4 of us on there, and it was like 2-on-2, and it was fun just not thinking about it.
See, I wanted to get off that server.
Other.
I felt like a bad person on that server, and I wanted to go away and learn that I'm a good person elsewhere.
I mean, I deleted the server for a while. I put in requests, just have them delete it, remove it, give us a new one, clean it.
I did invite them to call and smack talk us afterwards. Did someone check the messages? The
Yes,
voicemail messages.
we
I
have.
did, yeah.
we have one.
We'll play it at the end. It's good stuff.
Cool.
I want to kind of compare this game to the first time I'd ever been rickrolled. Whereas I was amazed, I was embarrassed, and I didn't really figure out what was going on until it was over.
Yep.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's a really great way of putting it. Eric.
Except for I enjoy being rickrolled now. I wouldn't enjoy this again. I really
You would
wouldn't.
enjoy being evil avatared again?
No. Tarred. Tarred
Okay.
and feathered.
Listener contributions.
Hey,
Dun,
well,
dun,
that's getting old. Stop that.
Dun dun.
Are you saying I'm old?
Yes.
Drink.
Dun dun. Dun dun.
Okay, there is a thread on our servers. GHL, Griffin P, and Silver Chaos. Some people were involved more than others. Dug into the update information, and they have reason to believe that the Pyro will be the next series of unlockable weapons.
You heard it here first, folks.
Awesome.
Well, you heard it on our forums first.
Yeah.
Yes. The reason that they did is they looked at wasn't there some stat
some
in
like
your
config file or some kind of like some XML file or something.
Right.
I forget. They explained it, but
where basically what happened was shortly before the medic stuff got released, a value in there got increased to 1,000 from like 100 or something like that. And then they have noticed that when the medic achievements came out, the Pyro number was changed like the medic number was changed. So
Well, they added an achievement group for the Pyro Pack, is what it is,
Okay.
and I think
actually
that's as
says
good a clue as any. I hope if you're listening, Valve, that what you do instead is you release all 8 of the rest of the classes all at once.
And they
that's
might
what I hope
after
you do.
this fiasco. And if you listen to our podcast, which I'm assuming you don't or won't after this episode, but you need to because you should hire us because we'll show you how to run things.
So great catch, GHL. That's some interesting places for us to think. What will the Pyro achievements be? I imagine they will involve setting people on fire. The next thing in our listener contributions
I would
here.
actually say probably not. I think they're going to do something
Think not?
completely different. I think you're going to have to heal people
yes, with your axe.
to get the unlocks. at least.
You're not going to burn for 10 million points.
they're gonna do like a Medusa stare. What you'll do as a pyro is you'll take your mask off and then just look at your opponent and they'll okay, anyway.
There'll be an achievement for lighting every class on fire at once.
Yeah. Oh, and then it'll be like Samus from Metroid. It'll be like a girl. You'll be like, oh my god, the pyro's really a chick.
Callan uploaded a video of us grinding achievements on server number 3 on Tuesday night. He actually didn't start recording, or he didn't start it until after we did some of the more impressive ones, but it has us set up with our autoclave assembly line where I'm playing a pyro and we're just taking turns, people Ubering me while I set people on fire and stuff like that. And that's a lot of fun. We'll put up a link to that.
Yes, and there's one part where they're doing the scout thing, and all the scouts are running out of the duel room straight into Spencer's heavy gun.
Oh, God.
And there's someone sprayed noob box on the floor on the ground in front of where he's killing everybody.
Nice. And Nico does your little head shaking.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, there's some funny in there too.
Oh.
That was a lot of fun that night. Let's see, what is this? Uber server number 16, 24/7 Goldrush.
Yay, by Robot Guy.
know what
Robot
this is.
Guy, this is his server. And yeah, it's Uber server number 16. I would recommend going to 16, as it's probably the best out of all of the Uber servers.
Yes.
And it's really great. Yeah, and right now he has a 24/7 Goldrush, and did I join it? I think I did. It's really great. I mean, that's a cool idea. It's not like a permanent Goldrush, server or anything, but it's been on there for, I guess, since Wednesday or Tuesday.
Do we have a link up on our front page to it?
I don't know. Brent,
Is this 6?
do we? No. Uber
16.
server number 16.
I doubt
Uber
it.
server number 16.
Okay. We should have a link to it.
We should put one up.
Yeah.
But we'll put up a link in our show notes, of course. Now, the infinite Uber exploit. Wow.
Yeah.
Who put this up?
I did. There is a video where basically what happens is, if at the beginning of a match, and I don't know if this has been fixed yet or not, but if you Uber someone in the beginning of a match and then switch your weapons over to the new medic weapons, you will not lose your Uber. So,
Wah, wah.
so basically, you can run around with your saw and your syringe gun all day long, and I believe until you actually activate your Kritzkrieg, which you switch the weapon to, you will keep the Uber.
Now, I thought this was a specific hack because I was getting into a game this week, and Sigma Sign messaged me and he said, "Hey, we have some weird stuff going down. There's some double Ubering medics in the spawn, and they have their saws out." And I'm like, "Ooh, cool! This will be the first time I'll get to ban someone." So I go in, and he's spectating them, and he's kind of studying them, and I figure he's going to figure it out, and he did. Yeah. And that's what this video is. It's him actually. He actually made this video, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sigma Sign actually.
I thought it was something completely different.
Now there's another one.
I thought, okay, maybe that's the one.
I'm about to talk about the other one.
Is it?
There's another video that we will post a link to in the show notes. It's the Uber medic pair, and the idea is you have two groups of people, or two medics. One has the other one Ubered while he has his Uber saw out, and then they switch back.
As soon as he kills 4 people, he can switch and Uber the other guy. And
Yes.
he can go kill 4 people, which fills up.
I don't know that that's an exploit. I
I do not think you should be able to build your Uber saw while you're Ubered. I do think
that would be a good
I do
fix,
think
yeah.
that is a reasonable expectation. You can't capture a point while you're Ubered.
Right. It's a little
Fair enough.
balancing issue there.
I think that would be a good fix for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if that qualifies as an exploit right now. So much as just seeing the abilities, what they can do.
An annoying gameplay feature.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that probably needs to be fixed, but I don't think I would classify it as an exploit.
I don't think I would either.
Ash Williams released his EP.
Yes, and his band, Dawn of the Dumb Blonde, Dead. We will post a link to it. I challenged him. Man, what episode was that? Like 9 or 8?
16. I think it was
13.
16.
Was it
13.
14? Was it 12?
21.
Was it 7?
Hike.
Number 46.
Anyway, he made the Control Point song, and we loved it.
Yeah.
And he had made a song for Legendary Heroes, and everyone gave him thousands of hits for that. And he's like, I do all this like real music, and nobody listens to it. I get like 5 hits. I make this funny music for you guys, and I get thousands. And I'm like, okay, well, you make your real music, you put it out, and we'll get you some hits. So really, some of the people from our community went and listened to it. I had one of his songs stuck in my head the other day.
Yeah.
It's good music. It's a guy with a guitar and an axe to grind about a bunch of women. And
it's good. I like it. If I return to some music, if I listen to stuff over and over, then obviously I like it. And I found myself listening to it while I grinded rep, and wow.
Yep. We're gonna.
So, is he going to let us play some of it at the end of the show?
Oh, possibly.
I'll check into that. I don't think he'll have any problem with it. We're going to link to his MySpace where he has all the songs on his EP in the little jukebox on his MySpace.
And if you haven't heard his CP song, by the way, I guess you could by going, what do you click on? Music on the front page of our website?
I don't think we have the CP song in there.
Oh, I thought there was a music section with the, listener contributions. We have that.
Oh, yes.
And then there's a music section. Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll get links to it on there. But and that section needs to be updated too.
Yeah.
And the
need to make it
last
a
thing we don't have here on the list, but the what was it? Crap. Wes, you looked it up. Machinima.
Oh, yes. And I don't know why. It's on the next part. Oh, yes. Never mind. I'm being stupid.
Jeez.
I meant to put the link here, and I didn't. Hold on. I have to look it up.
Hey, Wes, Brent, sing us a little song while he does this.
No.
Come on, do some of your fancy schmancy beatboxing.
I just found out I have an ear infection during this podcast, and it's actually hurting really badly. So
that's good for discussion.
I'll sing a song. Brent has an ear infection. He just found out about it during this podcast, and he doesn't want to sing.
Wow, what a catchy tune that is.
Holy
I know.
That sucks.
I think I need to rescue you with the information we were looking for.
Thank you.
I'm here to save you. What this is Mr. J. Crowley Esquire has created a sequence of machinima that he has entitled Misfits in a Hostile Environment. It is done. It's a Machinima series. He thinks we'll have about 20 episodes. He's got 2 of them out already, and I've watched one. Spencer has watched both of them. They are actually done pretty well. Do you want to talk about the technical things? Oh
yeah, there are skin swaps. So you'll see things like the Heavy wearing a Hawaiian shirt, like Weird Al, and you'll see a different coat. Like I think the sniper has like a jeans jacket on or something.
Yes, he does.
And anyway, it's really cool. It's a nice, fresh, new idea for Machinima. Also, all the characters have what's the word? Choreography, I guess. Lip syncing, which is really amazing because I actually mentioned that before. I don't remember what we were reviewing, but I say put the extra work into it. If you're making a movie about people talking, then make it look like they're talking. Don't make us try to imagine what it would
waggle their
look like.
guns.
Yeah. So and they do hand gestures and things like that. I mean, really well done.
Now, I can't even imagine how much work went into actually filming this because they had to have the timing set up to start all of the lip syncs at the same time. And he actually had the audio playing out during the game. I'm not sure if he used that or if he ultimately went back and dubbed it over. Now, one thing that these 2 episodes do not yet have is he didn't know you could make expressions like from emotional expressions on the characters.
Like
so I showed him. I showed him how to do that. So he's gonna start doing that too, and it's just a really good start.
And it starts off a little slow. I'm not gonna lie to you. It starts off a little slow, but go ahead and stick around. You can tell it's got some definite potential, and there's a few funnies in there. So. Yeah, we recommend it.
Yep. So that's that. Let's move on to surveillance here. scientific facts about engineers.
This is a machinima that I think is pretty funny, and there's not much you can really say about it except go watch it.
It's short and sweet. It's funny. It's amusing.
So we'll move on from there.
Okay, cool. TF2Dev is looking for money. I got an email. I got that email. So if you like what TF2Dev does and they do some stuff, they did. I don't know if anyone still uses it, but they did do a pretty cool SIG that was animated and showed what your time and kills were with all your classes, and that was kind of cool. And so if you like the stuff that they do, head on over there and send them some cash.
What about a Fritz question?
Go ahead and play that.
Okay, and we have a question again from this week from a Frit.
Hey there, Ifrit once again for his question of the week. This week's question is, what is your favourite quote from TF2? As in voice command, taunts, responses, and anything else you can think of. So yeah, can't wait to hear what you guys think, and I'll see you around. Bye.
I really like it when the medic goes, Oktoberfest!
Yeah, I like that too. That's pretty cool. I like the new cart stuff from the Heavy. Now I can't even quote it word for word because I don't remember. So I'll go with some old school one. I really still like Need a dispenser here from the Scout.
Yeah.
I think I have to go with Soldier. If God had wanted you alive, he wouldn't have created me.
Oh, yeah. Get behind me, doctor, is always good too.
Yeah.
So many to choose from.
There's also a Demo Man line that I like the they're going to have to glue you back together in hell.
Oh, yeah.
Kaboom.
Mine, I think I'm going to have to just go with bonk.
Boink. Bonk. Do you like the bonk or the boink?
Bonk,
Dun, 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 dun,
bonk, 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 bonk,
dun, dun, dun. Sing with me.
I like that one. You know what? There are so many. I can't choose.
All the voice
I can't
acting
choose.
is fabulous.
I love all of the voice acting.
Yes.
It's all swell.
Shout-outs.
Player of the week this week. We had some discussion about it last week, so we're going to go ahead and do it. Is Jazz.
And normally, I'm going to put it this, normally we will not give Player of the Week to our mods. That's generally not what we do. But Jazz has put in a lot of work on CP Control Point, and we did not reward him when he put it out.
So you know what I think is funny about this?
What?
He's still the ranking FNG, so he has to go and make himself Player of the Week.
Awesome. That's great, Jazz. You have to go and make yourself Player of the Week. Do it, but don't do it till Wednesday when that thing comes out.
Yeah.
Okay.
That about wraps it up for the week, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're in the wrapper.
Yeah. Oh.
Awesome.
Oh.
Okay, so update the wiki. We
Draft
have links to wiki. We have links to
draft sound.
digging. Digging us is good. We have MySpace groups. We have iTunes to leave reviews on, I started looking at iTunes reviews all around the world, and I read lots from Canada, read lots from the UK. It was really cool. A couple from Australia, New Zealand.
Awesome.
Very fun. Stumble Upon, Twitter.
Leave us thumbs up on Stumble Upon and Twitter. All of us actually have Twitter accounts now, except I don't think Wes uses his.
Mine is used to mock the experience.
Yeah.
And it's mostly just because I figured that one day I would have a phone where I might do Twitter. Like right now I've just got a crappy phone. But like one day if I had an iPhone or something like that, I would want to have Wes Wilson. So I went ahead and got Wes Wilson. And
before somebody else does.
Yeah.
Also, you can check out other quality podcasts on the Dead Workers Network, such as Trailer Trash Talk, Random Chatter, Lost Chatter, Movie Chatter, lots of chatter going on, The Zero Show, In the Can with David and Johnny, and World of WoW.
Sweet.
That's
World
a lot of
WoW.
podcasts.
That is.
To fill your week.
You can also join the community and the forums. That is our Steam community and our non-Steam forums.
which is where the forums are where we get a lot of our information. So if you want to like communicate with us a lot, the forums are probably the best way, other than playing the actual game and saying hi.
Yeah, and lots of new content released on the forums a lot. Like a few days ago, I released new outtakes from the Uber Control episode, so you can hear kind of some behind-the-scenes kind of stuff. So a lot of neat things happening on the forums.
And you can also always look for Winsor Coperton on the Facebook. Oh, wow, I sound like I'm 80. The Facebook. Holy crap. Or you can call, leave us a message at 256-513-4772, or you can Skype Dead Workers.
Oktoberfest!
You are now at the end of another episode of Control Point.
Victory.
Every one of you deserves a medal.
A podcast brought to you by the Dead Workers Party. See the show notes and leave comments for this episode at controlpoint.deadworkers.com or leave us a voicemail at area code 256-513-4772.
Auf Wiedersehen!
Hello, this is Rogue Hunter from Evil Avatar. And even though we did completely wipe the floor with you guys, I would like to congratulate your medic on getting the rounds achievement tonight. It's quite the achievement. Thanks for playing, and try again.
Greetings from TF2 Chan. This is Princess the Driving Cat, trying not to sound like a total idiot on the CTA Red Line train. I listened in on your live broadcast on April 27th, and I just want to thank Wes for his awesome DJing after show, Oh Man, Electric Six, and him singing to the final countdown has ensured that I may die a happy woman. Well, anyway, thanks for your hard work, guys. I love you all. Keep it up. Each and every one of you deserves a medal.